Hello everybody, it is Adam from SoGoSurvey, and today I'm here to talk about how ignoring workplace culture can spell bad news for your business. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. So why doesn't every manager make workplace culture their top priority? Well, first we should distinguish what work culture is. Work culture is the character and personality of your organization. It's the sum of its values, traditions, beliefs, interactions, behaviors, and attitudes that make your business unique. Author Richard Barrett writes, quote, "Who you are and what you stand for have become just as important as the quality of the products and services you sell." Unquote. So why is a negative work culture a big problem? Barrett says, quote, "Leaders who allow fear-driven values dominate the culture of their organization are a liability to investors." Unquote. If someone ignores a toxic or negative work culture, this will lead to problems like ethical violations, stress-related sickness, high turnover, an inability to attract talent, and lower profits. So how would you foster a positive workplace culture? Well, according to a Gallup study, quote, 30% of US employees are engaged at work and a staggeringly low 13% worldwide were engaged. Fostering a positive work culture may be a smart way to tackle this problem. Consider a shift in mindset from short-term decision-making to long-term decision-making, from what's in it for me to what's best for everyone, and from being the best in the world to the best for the world. According to E&Y, 55% of the FTSE 350 companies have seen a 10% increase in operating profits driven by their investments in positive culture. And as a study follow-up, Barrett notes, quote, "Overall, 92% of the board members of these companies said a focus on culture has improved their financial performance." Unquote. But what does a positive work culture look like? Well, a good place to start is trust and engagement. Trust is critical for productivity because, quote, "Employees are more willing to do all they can for leadership when they are confident leadership will have their backs." Unquote. As Stephen Covey states in The Speed of Trust, quote, "Trust always affects outcomes. Speed and cost. When trust goes up, speed will also go up and costs will go down. When trust goes down, speed will also go down and costs go up." Autonomy is also important. Quote, "When employees are competent and recognized, group dynamics converge to create a sense of ownership of outcomes, workplace environment, and organization." Unquote. Report the authors of a study on ethical leadership in the Journal of Business Ethics. And again, listening to your employees vent is a great way to show faith and find out what they need to succeed. You also want to focus on your employees' well-being because work-related stress has become a major issue all over the world. Other reasons for burnout include changing programs, cost reduction, exercises, staff cuts, sexual harassment, racial discrimination, and bullying. When you meet your employees' needs, quote, "You will be able to unlock their creative potential," unquote, says Barrett, instead of making them angry or depressed or frustrated if you don't. So how do you build a positive work culture? Well, the first step is to understand important facts about your company's culture using a valid tool. Barrett has actually created 2 scores to tell you if your workplace culture is working for you. It's cultural entropy versus cultural health. And once you've gathered the data, you can improve workplace culture based on what you've learned. If you want the culture of your organization to evolve, you must, as Barrett says, quote, "either change the leaders or the leaders must change," unquote. To wrap things up here, quote, "In a volatile, uncertain, and increasingly complex world, we need to let our deeply held human values dictate our decisions," unquote, says Barrett. You do not want to ignore workplace culture because it is an unnecessary risk that you can mitigate by fostering values like trust, autonomy, and well-being. To understand what your employees need to succeed, just ask. So listen, learn, and foster values like trust, autonomy, and well-being to create a great workplace culture. If you all would like to read more about why senior managers are ignoring workplace culture and why it's bad news, we have a blog about it on our website. Also, please follow us at SoGoSurvey on our various social media platforms down below. You can also reach us at 1-800-646-0520 or email us at support1@sogosurvey.com. Thank you all so much for tuning into this episode. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you tune into next episode as well. Thank you all so much. Please stay safe and have a wonderful week.